my Triangle to Coast friends. I am here today for our monthly market update, and I'm joined by one of my friends, Dave Bullard. How are you doing, Dave?
Great. How are you today?
I'm good. Dave is a friend of mine. He's with a North Carolina in insurance, and he's with Farm Bureau, so North Carolina Farm Bureau, if I'm saying that correctly. And Dave and I met many years ago, actually, at a networking event. And Dave, I've been a client of Farm Bureau for many years of my life, but he's going to bring to us today expertise when it comes to the insurance and the things that are in our market that are affecting our insurance rates, some legislative things that have been in the news lately, how the appraised values. So we're just going to dive into the conversation. First, Dave, I'd like for you to introduce yourself, tell how long you've been in the business, where you're located, and so we can get started.
Great. Yeah, my name is Dave Bullard. I'm an agency manager with North Carolina Farm Bureau. Our office here is in Apex. I've been in the industry for 23 years now. It's hard to believe. And I've been with Farm Bureau for the last 13. I used to have another agency up in Maryland while I lived in Maryland and moved back here back in 2011, 2012, and that's whenever I joined Farm Bureau. So that's it.
Glad to have you again, Dave. So I've got a couple of major questions, but one recently in the news, and we all know there was some legislative things that came down from the Department of Insurance. Can you tell us the outcome of that? And do we anticipate seeing that anytime again in the next couple of years, or that scare, I should say?
This actually happens almost every year. It doesn't get as much publicity because inflation isn't typically as big. But yeah, this year the insurance lobbyist group came to North Carolina and tried to get a 42% rate increase across the board. And that would not be 42% for everybody. It would depend on what county you were in, and different demographics would affect that rate. But that's what they presented. That's what got presented on WRAL and drove lots of email questions, lots of Facebook posts, and lots of unneeded nervousness. Especially in an election year, there was no chance the insurance commissioner would approve a 42% rate increase. But again, this happens almost every year. There's some kind of increase that's requested, and typically they fall somewhere between 5 to 10% increases. And I'd be surprised if we see much more than that this year. I would expect somewhere between that ballpark, maybe in the low teens on the high end, but nowhere close to 42%.
Well, that is wonderful news. I can say that there was a scare, or there was a lot of social media attention that was driven just to that fact. I am someone that has worked with our legislators before on other things, and I know as a realtors in our association, being in the Raleigh Association, we certainly wanted to support those things that could negatively affect our homeowners or not even have the ability to do it. So I'm glad to know that was kind of tabled, and hopefully, I know they said 42% and 99% of the beach, like that makes you kind of hold your breath for a second. So hopefully that's not going to be a scare for us again in the future.
No, but and this is just the insurance agent coming out at me. Obviously, those rate increases sound very dramatic and way over the top. That being said, there are some needs for some rate increases. You can look at states like Florida, where everyone's exiting the insurance market, and that's what we don't want to get to. We want to make sure there's plenty of companies in North Carolina who are wanting to compete, because that's going to keep the prices down. They're actually one of our largest, maybe the largest insurer in the state, started canceling a drastic number of policies and stopped writing new business. So there's definitely a fine line between, of course, we don't want 42% rate increases, but the insurance market in North Carolina has been a little on the low side, probably in the past. So there's definitely going to be a balancing act over the next 2, 3, 5 years, I would imagine.
I understand that because we have had a lot of appreciation here for sure. So that kind of just segues into my next question for you. With the new appraisal rates that came out from the county this year, as a homeowner in Wake County, what do our friends with Triangle to Coast need to consider when those rates, some of them have gone on up significantly? Do they need to make sure their insurance coverage is the same as that? Are you writing a lot of policies or renewing policies to a higher level because of that has occurred?
In general, we're renewing policies at higher rates just based off the cost to rebuild. The tax value of your home really doesn't affect your insurance value. Your insurance value is truly just based on if your house was to burn to the ground, how much would it cost for us to get your same house rebuilt again tomorrow? And typically in the Wake County area, Harnett County area, Fuquay area, we're seeing somewhere between $175 to $225 a square foot. So if you look at your declaration pages and you've got a 3,000 square foot home that's insured for $400,000, you're definitely underinsured. And that, if nothing else, this change in tax values does need to be a reason for you to discuss that with your agent, just to make sure everyone's comfortable with your coverage. It's always nice to save a couple of dollars at your insurance premiums, but if you were to have that catastrophic event, you definitely don't want to find yourself on the short end of the stick or not be able to rebuild your house either.
Well, and we said that to our clients in the past, just when we had the large jump in 22, and a lot of appreciation that they making sure that if there was a catastrophic event, that it could be rebuilt and they had enough coverage on the insurance. That's something certainly that I think everyone needs to, and these appraisals that are coming out should kind of put them in the, trigger them to do that or to contact their agent for sure.
Just one more thing is that tax value also includes the value of your land. And as you know, the value of land in Wake County, Harnett County, the surrounding areas of Raleigh has gone up drastically as well. So
Absolutely.
we're seeing a half acre of land go for over $100,000 sometimes. So the value itself does not necessarily need to be the value of your home for the home insurance policy.
Understood. So, as we're just looking at the market, how is things going in your business? Are you writing a lot of new policies? Is it new homes? What are you seeing that's kind of your first quarter coming into this year?
Well, as we've been discussing, rate increases have been driving activity. Every company is raising rates. There's no company that's not. Everyone's getting their declaration pages in the mail and they're getting some sticker shock. So more than anything, we're spending a lot of time just counseling our current clients, kind of trying to walk through the steps with them, show them ways of getting their premiums back down if they want. But also we're getting flooded with new activity just from clients who are getting those deck pages that are way out of range and way higher than what they thought. And that being said, it's definitely a good time to consider your options. There are several companies right now, several larger companies right now, who their rates are astronomical. So, I mean, there's been times where I've saved someone over $1,000 on their homeowners insurance just on that one policy. So it's definitely a good time to reevaluate, check your options. I definitely would review your discounts, deductibles. I'm encouraging almost all of my clients these days to take $2,500 deductibles. That really will help your rate down some. And also, we just don't see clients file $500 claims anymore. It's not, clients don't use it as a warranty program. It is something that they're not going to file a claim unless it's a bigger claim. And so because of that, the cost savings of having the higher deductible tends to outweigh the risk of taking that on.
Right. But as you see new business, like new people or my agents myself that are bringing new business to write policies that people don't have contacts, do you see more of that as a resale now or as a new construction? Or
We're seeing more new construction. We're not seeing, we do see some resale, but I'd say a large majority of my business right now is new construction on the new purchase side.
There's certainly a lot out there and many options when it comes to new construction. But do you have any final thoughts if you could tell my client basis and all of our friends that watch this, what is one thing in your world that you think as a real estate buyer or someone looking to buy or sell that they should consider from your avenue?
Just really consider what you're getting. I know rates are what's driving a lot of the activity, as I mentioned earlier, and even with new purchases, whenever you're trying to close on a home, you're trying to get the cost as low as possible for debt to income ratios, things like that. But really consider the company you're using. If you do have a catastrophic event or you want to call a 1-800 number, or do you want to have someone you can talk to, there is a lot of value these days to having an agent to be able to go through these ideas or these options with you. Instead of just going on Facebook and reading what everyone's nervous about and the catastrophic side of things, it's good to have someone you can call, meet with, and kind of sit down and review your options. The same with your industry. Obviously, it's much better to have a realtor than to try one of these 1-800 numbers or someone who's the guarantee buying type options. So it's very similar to the real estate industry, but just really take the time to look at what you're paying for. Again, if you have a good agent, they're going to take the time to run through all of your options with you. They're going to explain the coverages with you. They'll take time to meet with you, and they'll help you find ways of saving money if that's really what it comes down to. So that would be my only advice at this point.
Well, thank you for that. And I'll say that we have had clients in the past that have found things online or found different sources, and they're just way different in price but not the same basic coverage, and not, you have to kind of line them up side by side. And then even if you do for 6 months get this unbelievable premium, then all of a sudden you're hit with it comes back again and it's super high. Am I correct in saying that? Just the same way you are with some other insurance coverages?
Yeah, and there's actually a company out there right now who went really hard after the new construction market, but they are now no longer writing homes over 4 years old. So clients who during the COVID, a little before COVID, wrote policies with them to save these incredible premiums are getting cancellation notices in the mail for no other reason other than the fact the house is over 4 years old. So it's definitely, what are you looking for? Are you looking for a long-term relationship? That if you do have a major claim, that you know who you can talk to, you know who the adjusters are working for, or are you just looking for the cheapest thing? And sometimes you get what you pay for. So.
Well, we appreciate all your professional advice that you're giving us. I know that you certainly have been a great tool for our team for many years, and I really appreciate the service that you provide to all of our clients. And I want to also say you provide other things besides homeowners insurance. You've got life insurance, you've got other products if someone is looking for that as well, correct?
Yes, ma'am. Our main focus is home, auto, life, and health. I also do a lot of Blue Cross health insurance and life insurance, as you mentioned. But yeah, definitely in the homeowners market, anytime you can bundle your home and auto together, that's going to get you your best rate with pretty much every company. So yeah, I appreciate you mentioning that.
Absolutely. Well, Dave, thank you so much for your time. We'll make sure that our clients know who you are and where you're located, and hopefully we can put some more business together soon for us.